Well, thank you so much, Daniel Wahome, back in Nairobi. Like you rightly put it, that is Benson Oballa is quite a sensation given his footballing, the level of footballing career so far. And like you put it, he has a foundation here in Manyatta through this resource center called Manyatta Youth Resource Centre, with just within the informal settlement of Manyatta Estate, which is one of the biggest informal centers here in the Lakeside County of Kisumu. And without much ado, I'm being joined by the founder and co-founder and the director of that resource center here, Mzee Antony Oballa, actually just to get to understand how this resource center has been since it was incepted back in 2008. And Mzee Oballa, I hear they call you coaches. Yes, explains your sporting interest and the way you've been able to model these local talents here in footballing and other various ways. We are live on KBC on our Sports Check show, and at this point I'm just going to welcome you to help us understand and actually give us more details about the resource center. When was it founded, and how has it been run so far, and what are some of the achievements? Begin by telling us when was this resource center founded and its major objective.
Thank you, and I would like to say thanks so much for KBC coming to Mashinani. Manyatta Youth Resource Centre was founded in 2009. Basically, our main aim was to address issues of conflicts and dispute resolution. You know, as we realize, after every 5 years, we've been seeing animosity within the community. So we thought it was just to start the organization, then use football as a stepping stone to create peace, to bring coexistence in our community. So that is how we started the Manyatta Youth Resource Centre.
I'm so interested in knowing, we have got so many estates, or rather maybe estates within Kisumu, but what was the decision that actually led you to locate this resource centre right within the Manyatta? Because we also have other informal settlements elsewhere.
When I came here in Kisumu, that is after I was working with the Pan-African paper mills, but gradually before coming to start this organization, I had a cousin brother who was residing around this place. So I was coming to coach youths around here. So when the factory closed, it was easy for me to come and start here because I was regularly coming to Manyatta. Yeah.
And when it was founded, what really led to its founding and actually the prime objective?
The primary objective was to nurture talent, and then through talent we also wanted to address issues of conflict and dispute resolution. We wanted to sensitize and create awareness to the youth for the need of having peace and coexistence within the community. Yeah.
So many talents have gone through this resource center. How did you get to recruit maybe members of the community here, or the youth actually, to get to join this resource center?
Where there's football, definitely you have to get the boys and girls here. So having known what it was and having played football during my working days with Pan-Paper FC, it was easy to bring the boys together and get the ball and train them. So when you're training them, there are also some goodies, some things that you entice them, the kids with. So we are able to get about 40 young boys of age 12 to 14, and these 12 to 14 today, you can say there's Sydney Ocheng, who is in Gorma here. There's Toby Otieno, who is in the US, in Georgia. There is Omala came in later. Omala is like a third generation, but we also have Maingi, who was playing for AFC and currently is playing for Police. And we also have others who are playing for Kisumu All Stars. So we grew up with them a few years. That was about 5-6 years before they majored into the major league. Yeah.
And tell me, who are involved in the management of this resource center in terms of, basically, maybe you start telling us what are some of the various components of this program here? Is it just the footballing alone, or what other things are involved in it?
Footballing is a cornerstone. Definitely when you want to start something, you have a place you have to start from. But then when we started with football, and I told you the conflict and dispute resolution issue. One, this was started. We started with a friend from the US who was on an intern who came to try and see or get to know about the issues of conflict. So we had football, we had drama, we had music. as you've seen this our studio. Then life skills came in. So it is not just football, but over time we've been trying to see what is it good that we can make us able to change the community, including the behavioral change. So there are many aspects so that it's football, life skills, motivational talks, and behavioral change. Let's see what is it that is ailing the community, so that we see through football we make things straight. Yeah.
Well, I've heard it, they call you coaches. That means you are very deeply embedded in the management of the footballing affairs here. Who else is involved in such management? Are you doing it alone, or who are you involving in this?
No, I'm not alone. Like you see, we have they are sitting there. We have lady coaches, or those ones who are working with under 10, under 12, under 14. And then there's also under 16, the group that from there, we rope them into the senior team which is playing Division 2. So we have the coaches at the senior team. We have roughly 7 coaches. And the coaches are working on the coaching aspect, the life skill aspects, and the motivational talk aspect. So it is not just football, but they are also all trained on gender-based violence, peace issues, sexual reproductive health rights, and anything that we want to see brings positivity to our community. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, fine. You maybe tell us exactly. How do all the coaches involved in the management of the footballing affairs here, how do you get that remunerated? Because I know maybe they may not be doing this out of voluntary.
We can say they're doing it out of voluntary, but the remuneration is, we had this friend who came here and went back to the US. With his family, they do give us some funds, some small funds that we are able to run with the organization. So we have a bit stipend, others administration, we have a food program and other programs. So it is little, but we try to share it amongst ourselves. Yeah.
All right. I'm just so much interested in knowing how, because given the age group you've mentioned as to those that are involved in this program, how do they manage talent nurturing through this program and also their schooling and academic work?
Usually, when the schools are open, we get them on Saturdays. On Saturdays, we work with them from 11 to 1. And then we take them for a food program, which we have about an hour, and then they go home. So, but when the schools are closed, we have them from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. So it is full house, and we have a program within the week when schools are closed. But due to the program, have the tough schedule that we have with our schools, we have only one day during the week when the schools are open. Yeah.
Maybe you want to move here probably so that we can get a clear view of you here. And just tell me, how did they receive this program when you approached maybe some of their kids? Were they so willing to release their kids to join your program here, given especially on the weekends that you say you involve them more?
When you started, it was a bit hard because the parents didn't really understand why. And then others were saying you're using our kids or so. But it takes one's energy to move, to share with the parents, to get to know the parents, to build friendship with the parents. And then with time, with the success we've been having, and in fact, in 2019, when we won the Chapadimba, we later on, we wrote a proposal in 2020 when there's COVID, and we were given a grant of 500,000 foodstuffs. So we gave it to the community. So that is when, parents started realizing, so these people are here for us. There's some good things in this. And then we're also giving them our stories, the positive side, looking that some of these boys have been playing and today are putting food on the table with the big clubs. Some have gone out. Of course, many people want to go and play it outside the country. So when we give these stories, the parents realize, and we make sure that we talk to them so that they get to understand what we are really doing. Yeah.
It's better that you've mentioned Chapadimba. That was my next point of engagement. What are some of the competitions that your team has been involved in, and what is some of the achievements so far?
When we started, we had a program here in Kisumu called the Kisumu Youth Football Association. Kisumu Youth Football Association was for the youths. It brought all the youths in the Kisumu to play against each other. It was over the weekends, the kids were playing together. So this is where we had the platform of nurturing, guiding, and building our teams. So when you visit, you see so many trophies. During the training, of course, we are serious. We also look at the discipline. so that the discipline goes with everything, so that at the end of the day, we want to achieve positively. When we started playing and building them, we started winning trophies because we had coaches. Of course, having played football, I knew what I wanted, and I knew what I wanted from a kid. So not one, but all of them, so that they play and have the quality football of it that we wanted. And today you can see from Oballa and the others. So it is something that over time, it is not an overnight thing, over time. So we have been patient doing that. Yeah.
This is a noble cause, of course, given the talents that have come through your program here. Talk of Benson Oballa and the other talents that you mentioned here. Are there other maybe organizations that have shown interest in joining you, or so that to push and nurture talent so that they can they reach their potential both in football and other skills involved?
We've been having some other teams who come, but they use some funny ways of getting our players. That's one we don't mind. But we're also trying to secure our players. But last week on Friday, we are happy to receive the Minister for Sports, Youth and Culture, Kisumu County, who came to our offices. We talked to him, we shared with him, and we are looking at a scenario where we want to have partnership with the county government. So this has also come over time. So it doesn't come just overnight, like I was saying, but you have to go slowly and see. And thanks, Friday, last week, the minister came. We talked a lot with her. I think good things are coming. Yeah.
And just maybe last question for you, because we are pressed on time. Just one question. Tell me, what has been so challenging to you in running? Because since you co-founded this organization, it has been now about for 13 years. What has been the most challenging aspect of it?
The most challenging aspect is the financial aspect, because running a program you need to have funds, but we don't have adequate funds. Though there's somebody who is doing that, but we don't have adequate funds. As we are growing, things are coming in different dimensions. Like you can see the balls there. Yeah, sure. We don't have good balls. We have about 6 teams sharing about 4-5 balls, which is not good for good perfection of nurturing of these other things. We have the boots, which wear out quickly because of our fields. We have the cones, which are never enough, because the number of kids that we have from age 10 to 14 are about 80. You can imagine 80. How do we share these things? So we would really wish to have people who can come in and support us with this equipment first, and then the financial aspect, to see how we can run our programs, how we can run the feeding programs, how we can buy other equipment that can also be helpful to the kids, because we've seen the laptop, the desktops in the Nini, you've seen the studio that we have. We really need funds and partners who can come in and work with us.
Thank you. I hope that has been Antony Oballa, or Mzee, or coaches, as is popularly known as within these environs here, telling us about the Manyatta Youth Resource Centre that has been quite critical in nurturing the talents, or maybe those that are talented in football and many other areas here. Like you've had him mention some of the talent that have come through this resource centre, and that shows how critical the CBO, or rather community-based organization, can be so critical in nurturing local talents. But you've heard him mention that he has encountered quite a number of challenges since the founding of this resource center back in 2013, and that's the reason he's calling upon other organizations also to join hands with them to get to actually to see the locals here, to see the locals here actually to explore their potential to the maximum. Well, this is a conversation that will be carrying on, not though on air, but then we'll file a detailed report from this. But for now, Daniel, let me hand it back to you so that we can continue with that conversation in studio. Daniel.